Alright, what's going on guys? It's Almond. Welcome back to another Wizard101 video. In today's video, we're going to be going over a certain pack, and we're also going to be talking about a Celestian key boss, and we'll talk a little bit more in depth about what I mean by that. But if you do enjoy this type of content, be sure to leave a like on this video, be sure to subscribe, and also join Discord if you guys haven't. I think we're like around 250 members, so be sure to join. So let's get into today's video. So when it comes to what I mean by a Celestian key boss, is that we have a pack in this game, and a lot of people spend money on it for PvP, in my opinion. The whole reason behind it is for PvP. And the pack that I'm talking about is the Celestian Spellement pack. This whole pack is regarding PvP gear and just some spells that are introduced into it and the whole spelemental issues. I have videos regarding Spellements, so most people should kind of already know what I mean by Spellements. But Tier 5 Nautilus is broken. That's the whole reason behind it. And for people who want these spells, you can't grind for them. While there's certain spells you can obviously grind for, like Spellement wise, and then we barely got our Grizzleheim spells introduced as droppable Spellements. So it's been a minute since we've had another one like that get introduced, and I feel like the Celestian key boss would be the next one. And there's many ways that they can introduce a key boss like this. They can just use references from King Boar and try to make their own version of another boss and put in Celestia. I think the best way they can go around this is just having well, I wouldn't say three fights, just have a certain fight in Celestia. I don't know where they would put it. I think they would have to put it in the main area, or maybe there's actually many spots that they can actually put it. But I feel like they should put it in either Science Center or somewhere else. I feel like Science Center would be a good spot to put those type of key bosses, or maybe just straight up in the spawn area. I think there's plenty of spots that they can do that. But I'd like to see Mithraya and like all the other like Moon, Star, and Sun bosses just all come together in one fight. I think that would be kind of interesting to see as a Celestian key boss, and I think that whole dungeon in Celestia just kind of explains Celestia in itself, just because it really captures it in a good way. So I would like to see all three of those bosses, the main bosses, actually be introduced in one big fight, and they all have their own separate cheats. Maybe just combine all their cheats in one. It would be really interesting to see. So that is the idea itself, but the whole reason of them adding this type of key boss is mainly to make it so reagents are easier to, or the spellmental reagents are easier to get. So when I mean that is Ship of Fools, which is a really good, in my opinion, a really good AoE for death. And people with death can't really farm for the spells because you're forced to open a pack. It's pay to win in itself. The people who have tier 5 Nautilus, pay to win. You can only get those from packs. So hopefully they introduce this and it will make more people want to farm this. Definitely. And people would definitely do videos on the rates of getting the Spellements and etc. I probably would farm him and just do videos on the enemy, because those Spellements in that pack are really good. The only downside one, in my opinion, is probably the ice one, because it's terrible in my opinion. Even with the buff that they got in Test Realm, it basically heals you depending on how many shields you have. And as an ice, I mean, I can see why you would have that. Some people tried using it in PvP, like it would remove like shields that you have on you, and if you don't need them, it would basically just remove those. But it's just very situational, and it's like, why would you do that to heal when you can just use like Satyr or something like that? That's just way better. So I feel like if they were to adjust the spell, I feel like they should adjust that and make it a little bit, if anything, lower the pip cost, in my opinion. The balance one is really interesting in my opinion. It's basically the actual image of the one in the pack, and you basically, instead of it being like Spectral Blast, it's basically the opposite. Instead of being the Fire, Ice, and Storm, it's Life, Death, and Myth, which is very intriguing. But I really wish that this was an actual spell for balance that's learnable. It's kind of weird that it's through an external way, basically packs, but I feel like it would be a little bit more better if they just, whenever the boss is introduced for Celestia, it'll make more players actually want to go for it, especially balanced players. It's a decent spell, especially if you upgrade it all the way max, but at the beginning stages, I don't think not many people would use it. For me, I had it since I was questing like my low level balance, and obviously now it's like 60, and I've used it a couple instances. And that's mainly for whenever I'm in certain instances where I'm fighting an enemy and he has like a lot of shields, basically elemental shields, and I basically just hit with Spiritual Tribunal, which is good because it does the other schools. Obviously I can use balance spells, but Spiritual Tribunal is there too, so it's just good spell. But I think definitely the top two spells in this pack are going to be Ship of Fools, because it's a 4-pip AoE and it basically heals you it's basically a train, and it's kind of cool. It's referencing pirate in a way, and I enjoy the spell on my death a lot. I really hope that whenever they do introduce this key boss, it's going to make me want to go for like tier 5 of that, because it's such an interesting spell that I think I would definitely go for. And the last one is Nautilus from the spells. Nautilus is so OP in a sense where for PvP. PvE, you're never going to be using the spell. There has to be a specific fight. Maybe if they introduce a specific fight where you have to use the spell, then you would use it. But if they were to do something like that, they would have to have like a boss that, like, if he has a certain amount of blades, he will do this attack. But so you would use Nautilus to steal the blades and also do damage. I feel like they can do some sort of cheat with this boss maybe. And regarding those spells, and they're also probably going to be dropping pack related gear from here, which is kind of interesting. But the thing is, whenever they do stuff like that, it's always outdated, and they should keep up to date. A good reference is the Pagoda Dungeon. The Pagoda Dungeon has been in the game for a while. It's from a gauntlet, or what I mean is it's from a bundle, and it's called a gauntlet. It's the Pagoda Gauntlet. But the gear that you get from there is super outdated. So they can definitely, if they wanted to, just start keeping stuff up to date when it comes to these things. And it would actually make the community want to go for certain gear and actually change up styles in PvE or PvP. Definitely this game has been turning more PvP oriented, judging by the updates. And I feel like they haven't been putting as much focus in the PvE community. Other than like we're getting Lemuria soon, but it's been a minute. It makes me not want to play Wiz too much right now, because Wiz is kind of dry at the moment. There's not much to do from a PvE standpoint. Obviously I can try PvP, go for Warlord, etc., but I don't think I want to do that right now. I did do a poll the other day if I should try. A lot of you guys want me to, and a lot of you guys say just it's not worth it. So I still haven't decided if I want to do PvP. If I were to do PvP, I think I would have like a series where I have a content creator come through and teach me for the day. So that would be kind of interesting. But I would have to like contact some people and maybe set something up like that. But if you guys want to see something like that for the next age, I can definitely run it through and we can have some fun with it. But I think that's going to be it for the rest of the video. So hopefully we get a Celestian key boss soon, or maybe with the Lemuria update. Whenever that happens, I would really want to see a Celestian key boss along with it, and it would make a lot of people happy because people really want those spells. And instead of it being locked behind a pack, it should have been droppable. I think whenever they release this stuff, the pack should only be, it should be only pack exclusive for maybe like a couple weeks, not a whole year or something like that. It's kind of dumb. So hopefully we get that soon. And yeah, so be sure to leave a like on this video. Be sure to subscribe. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think about the Celestian key boss, and what would you want from the Celestian key boss, or what cheats. So yeah, I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Peace out, guys.